一度拝礼。Mitama Prayer, Perfect page 12. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life and this vast and the universe. You discharged your duty faithfully, each according to span of years. You will be remembered eternally. Your life will be taught from generation to generation, under the foundation of society and root of families. Through the mysterious workings of Kami, you enter the Konko faith, walk the way of Konko Daijin, respecting the will of the divine parent. You must remember through your faith to take into the world beyond and leave to descendants. Our gratitude is boundless for loving favors. We revere you, the ancestral spirit of home, on divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us, each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as the people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it on to all generations, and believe in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. 一度敬礼 Please bow our heads in prayer. これのワイパフ教会の御霊屋にもいつき祭る安武のりこかぐ春花姫の御霊の御前に小の祭司慎み敬いももう咲く Today, April 12, 2026, we gather to observe your one-year memorial service. The time came for you on February 7, 2025. The following morning, February 8, I received the sad news of your passing from Akinobu Sensei. It was natural for all of us to feel deep sorrow at your departure. You lived 62 years of life filled with the blessings of Tenchi, Kane no Kami-sama, and love of your family and those around you. You received many blessings, both knowingly and unknowingly. Time has passed so quickly, and now 1 year has not gone by since that day. Today, according to the Konkokyo tradition, we hold your 1 year memory service with your sincere hearts. As we stand before your portrait, many memories come back to us. I remember your warm smile, your gentle voice, and your sincere heart in doing goyo. I remember how kindly you spoke to my son when we visited the Waipahu Church. I remember visiting you at the end of the last year and bringing bread from a brick bakery. I did not realize that it would be the last time we spoke in person. I also remember when you lived at the Konko Mission of Honolulu. When I first came to Hawaii as a young student, you kindly took me to lunch in Waikiki. You sometimes share your own experiences as a student at the same English language school you had attended when you came to Hawaii. Your kindness and encouragement remain in our hearts. I remember seeing you devoted to your goyo at the Waipahu Church, especially during grand services. I remember how you cared deeply for your family and how you spoke with Alex and Lisa in Japanese so they could continue to learn and grow. Today, we have gathered here both in person from afar to pray for your eternal peace and happiness. Please accept our prayers and offerings as expressions of our sincere gratitude and love. We thank you for your many years of dedication, hard work, and the love and care you shared with all of us. Although we felt deep sadness after your passing, we are comforted in knowing that you are now free from physical limitations and suffering. You endure muscular dystrophy from a young age, yet you continue to live with strength and faith. のりこ先生が神元にお帰りになられてより月日は巡りて早1年が過ぎ去りました。本日ここに春の五大祭に合わせ1年祭を麗しく使い祭ります。私たちはおかげをもちましてこの1年無事に重ねることができました。この1年を無事に重ねることができました。世界の情勢は激しく動いておりますが、哲郎先生をはじめ秋信先生、美恵子先生、ご神社方のともに変わらず祈り合い、支え合い、ワイパフ教会の池上金光大臣広舞の働きを表し進めておられます。世界、アメリカ、そしてハワイの地も不安定な中にありますが、家族、親族一同がそれぞれにおかげを被り今日あることは、ひとえにいちこ先生、三翼先生とともに、のりこ先生の御霊の導きと守りがあってのことと熱く御礼申し上げます。Now you have returned to the spiritual world and embraced by the divine parent Tenchi, Kane no Kami-sama. We are truly grateful that you continue to protect, guide, and enrich our lives as a Mitama spirit. We pray for your continued Mitama no Tachiyuki, peace and happiness, Mitama no Michitate, well-being, and Mitama no Hataraki, spiritual work. You departed from your physical form of Queens West Oahu on February 7th at the 6:17 p.m. Since that day, we have continued to feel your presence and your work as a Mitama Spirit. Dear Yasutake Noriko Kagu Haruhana Hime no Mitama no Kami, we know that you continue to live in your hearts through prayer and remembrance. We maintain a strong living connection with you. Our founder Ikigami Konko Daijin taught, when my earthly form disappears, I will go wherever I'm asked. We believe you continue to watch over us as a daughter, sister, auntie, minister, and friend. When we face difficulties, please be with us, protect us, guide us, and help us grow in faith. We know that you love and care for us will never end. With today's one-year memory service, we honor you as our precious and beloved Mitama Spirit. We feel your presence whenever we are, because both you and will live within the universe under the care of Tenchi, Kane no Kami-sama. Dear Yasutake Noriko Kagu Harahana Hime no Mitama no Kami, please continue to rest in peace, eternal peace and happiness now and forever, as a respect and beloved Mitama Spirit. With deepest gratitude and reverence, we offer this prayer. これの安武の家、ワイパフ教会の家と長の守りの神と静まりまして、後に残りし者らの上に、ワイパフ教会の上に、ハワイ区域各教会の上に、愛をかけよで仲良くありがたく誠の信心を求めていけるよう、御霊の光や輝かしたまえ、守り導き先はえたまえと、ありし日の面影を忍び入れつつ、ろがみまつらむ玉串のとりどりの中取り持つ、慎み敬いも申す。Now,
書もさせてもらいます。まだコトさん。最後。いいですか？
祖先三時。Please open the Bible to page 36 for 祖先三時。36祖先三時。世々の親は我が家の神、我が神と心尽くしていつき祭らな。心尽くしていつき祭らな。と君よやの神たちよ。海の子のために家の柱を沈めたてたまい。初子のために世のなりわいを守り助けたまい。各意世の見えぬ境に増しませども、見尽くしみの御心は写しよに変わらせたまわず先見たまのまさき。先はえたまいくしみたまのくしみに恵みたまいて。志は薪の柱の動きなく。なりわいは結ぶつなめの緩みなく。真心清らに励み努めしめたまい。うからやから和らぎあいて。日にけに浦安く楽しましめたまい。ついに写し世のことを得て神の御門に入らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまい。見尽 かしこみかたじけなみみよやの恵みのおぼろげならぬを嬉しみ喜び申すこと心も涼やかにきこしめしたまえと申すあなくしみのみよやのみたまあなくしみのみよやのみたまあなとのみよやの神あなとのみよやの神一度入れ
Divine Message received on October 10, 1873. Though they live between heaven and earth, people are unaware of Kami's blessing. Shrine, temples, and homes stand on Kami's land. Unaware of this, people only examine the days and directions and commit irreverence to Kami and encounter hardship due to their accumulated offenses. They are to practice faith and receive divine blessing. Tenchi Kane no Kami has sent Ikigami Konko Daijin to the people to give blessing and teachings and to have them prosper forever. Kami is Kami because of people, and people are people because of Kami. Both continue to uphold each other. Good morning, everyone. It's still morning, right? Okay, good morning, everyone. I feel grateful that we could gather to hold the spring grand service for the Divine Parents of the Universe, Tenchi, Kane, no Kami. And following that, we are able to hold a one-year memorial service with Reverend Koichi Konko of Honolulu Churches in officiant. Thank you so much for attending, and thank you so much for being part of these services. Well, instead of a sermon today, since today marks first anniversary of my sister, I'd like to remember her and share some of her life to commemorate. Well, as you know, Noriko is my younger sister, who was born on January 12, 1963. And it was very cold day, and there were lots of snow on that day, and that, the cars could not drive up the hill slope of the, at Amagi Church entrance. Amagi Church, there's a slope to get into the parking spaces. Cars could not drive uphill because of the heavy snow. And as you know, she was born as a third child and the first daughter of my father Tetsuo and my deceased mother Mitsuko. And my mother at that time already had 2 children, myself and my younger brother Mitsumasa. So my mother thought, oh, that's enough, 2 is enough. But my father strongly desired to have a daughter. And as he wished, Noriko was born. And therefore, my father was especially happy. He was so happy that, oh, the daughter, I don't think he was happy that when I was born. But he was so happy that he had the daughter. Of course, my mother was happy as well. And my younger brother and I are about 1 and 8 months apart, and both are boys. So I often play with my brother. But Noriko, however, is about 4 years young, almost 4 years younger, and she's a girl. So I do not remember playing with her so much. But I do remember she often brought many friends, usually the girlfriends, to our house to play. So it seems that she has a lot of friends. And she was so generous and caring to her friends. And this one of the episodes kind of explained about that, generosity of Noriko. One of her friends, well, when she was like elementary school, one of her friends wanted to make a long distance call to talk with someone live far away. And those days, long distance, before cell phone become available, but long distance call was very expensive, and her parents did not allow her to call. And hearing that, Noriko told her that, oh, why don't you come? Use our phone. Because our phone is free. It's a church phone. It's free. And in reality, the Amagi Church is so big, right? And they have an internal phone system with many extensions that can call each other. Internal phone each other to call. That's without charge. It's, internal phone call is free. So Noriko thought, oh, our phone is free. Everything is free. So she thought, oh, you come over here, our phone is free. and I let her to use the long distance call. Probably talked a long time. And of course, a large phone bill comes later, and she got severely scolded. But this, kind of story showed that the generosity of her, she was kind of open-hearted. And it may be difficult to imagine because Noriko has been in a wheelchair for a long time, but as a child and a student, she was kind of energetic and active. My father told me that when she was in elementary school, once she ran away from home with a riding bicycle, small child bicycle, to Minami, about 6 miles away, where my mother's family lives. So she tried that. And another time, she was playing with her friends in what do you call it? In Japanese, it's called Densha Blanco. It's a swing shaped like a train. The swing is usually one seater, right? But the Densha Blanco has like a box shaped where the several children can get in, and the box shape, and noriko was pushing from the edge, pushing from the end, and pushing, and the swing went so fast, and she was pulled underneath, and that caused a serious fracture of her thigh, which requires hospitalization. I remember I stayed overnight at the hospital with my mother. So she was such otemba and a tomboy at the time. And at Amagi Church, she actively participated in the church activities and events. She also joined the church, the brass band. Amagi Church is a brass band. First she played the snare drum, and later she played flute. And my father also shared the story about the 5-kilometer run, 5-kilometer race held during the sports event, sports day event at the Amagi Church to celebrate the founder's birthday. Kyoso Seitansai Gyoji, one of the events, and we do the sports event. And there's a 5K race, and with a different age group, like a high school, maybe young male, young female, or middle age, different age group has a different race. And although my father's group started earlier, and Noriko, who was in high school group, which started later, and ran fast enough to catch up him and pass him, which surprised him. Oh, you passing me! He was so surprised. So she was so full of energy that no one could have imagined that later she would, develop such diseases. She was born and grew up in Amagi, and after graduating from Amagi Elementary School and middle school, she entered Kurume Shinai Jogakuin, Kurume Shinai Girls High School. And that school, one of the most famous Japanese female singers, Seiko Matsuda. Anybody know Seiko Matsuda? She went to school, the same school, and she was 1 year senior of Noriko. And interestingly, Seiko Matsuda's real name is Noriko too, Noriko Kamachi. And when Noriko was in the second year of high school, my parents moved to Hawaii in 1980. And I stayed in Amagi to go to Konko Seminary. And Noriko continued high school with the care of grandmother Fujie. And after graduation of high school in 1981, she entered the Konko Seminary. And at the graduation, she was still 19 years old. And a Konko minister have to be 20 years old to be ordained. And so she have to wait 1 year. And following year, she was ordained in the same year as my wife, Miyoko. And after coming to Hawaii, probably many of you know about Noriko worked at several places like a golf shop, optical store, a travel agency, while also helping our parents especially for the church work, goyo. And first little while she was okay. She has no problem. But maybe about 20-some years ago, she started to fall more often. and I started to show similar symptoms with my younger brother. But still, she could still continue to drive and work. And meanwhile, she continued to drive and work, but eventually the driving became so difficult. But she continued to work from home, using like a PC, computers. But that eventually became difficult. But still then, she tried to do whatever she can do by herself, although it takes more time. But with little assistance, she pretty much managed everything, every daily activity, including using the bathroom or taking bath. But about 10 years ago, although she started to use a wheelchair, about 10 years ago she started to use a wheelchair, but she still do pretty much everything by herself with little assistance. But about 6 months ago, we kind of tell that she's getting weaker, and she started to lose appetite, and more she sleep more, asleep on the wheelchair and in the bed. And last 2 weeks, especially, she couldn't move herself, and it was getting difficult for my father to take care. And whenever available, I help. I end up hurting my back. So discussing with the public nurse who visit every 3 months. Every 3 months was one of the very nice public nurse visited her to check her out. We discussed with her, and we decided to call ambulance, and so that she can be admitted in the hospital. And meantime, we can look for a proper facility for Honolulu. So that's what we decided, and we call ambulance. And while she was getting into the ambulance, I remember she bowed to the church. She bowed to the protector, saying thank you. And she was admitted by Queens West Oahu on February 6th. She was admitted, and she did a checkup, everything. And I visited her a couple times, but she was sleeping most of the time. But the next day, February 7th, was 6:17 p.m. She passed away peacefully. And my father, Miyoko, and I visited on that night to offer prayer. And we wonder why you so went so quickly, right after she was admitted by the hospital. And I kind of wonder, maybe she was worrying about the bill, hospital bill, financial matters, and troublesome to look for the facility. So maybe she was, she reminded me that my mother passed away 2 days after she entered into the facility too. Maybe like worrying about the money, I don't know, but that. So I was thinking maybe my mother came to pick her up. Oh, okay, you did well. Otsukaresama deshita. And so my mother came to pick her up. Well, and I cannot help but think that why my younger brother, younger sister passed away before me, although I'm the oldest. My turn, I'm supposed to go first, right? Because it's their turn. But why the oldest one remains and the younger one passed away earlier? I kind of stopped thinking that why is that? Maybe I was supposed to be. I was supposed to go. I was supposed to become sick, but was spared because I have children. Or maybe I have some roles and responsibility that I have to fulfill, but incomplete, while my brother and my sister have completed theirs already. Those are the things I think about it. There must be, divine arrangement, divine intention, divine thought, but I cannot stop thinking why. Then think about my father, and he's one of the 7 siblings, but all other passed away. Older one and a younger one. He's only one survived. Even more, he lost his own children. Why? How his thoughts must be. I can only imagine how heavy his heart must have been. Because my first level is not so high, so I don't know the answer. But while I was preparing the booklet for Noriko's funeral, I find some words in the season of life prayer. You know the season of life prayer in this book as well, right? Season of life prayer, and it said that caught my eye. It says, quote, "The span of each life is beyond our understanding. Kami's workings are mysterious and profound. But we found comfort in knowing that heaven and earth is our eternal home, that Kami's love is infinite and beyond measure, and Kami's protection embraces all." So, I thought that's right. All living things are mortal, and the span of each life is beyond our control, beyond our understanding. So no sense to feel the survivor's guilt. But instead of feeling survivor's guilt, I should focus more on survivor's responsibility. It's now about over 1 year since my sister passed away. And although she had that difficult disease, I believe she had a relatively happy life because of your support and practicing faith with you. I seldom heard that she complaining about her diseases, and she's trying to keep smiling. That's because of practicing Konko faith. So I believe Noriko now is free from the limitation of her body. Now he can move freely. So he's continuing working as a Mitama for us. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much. Now after this, let us recite closing prayer and prayer before meal and have a omiki. And please, if you have time, please go downstairs and have lunch together, Onolai lunch together. Thank you for attending. Hi. Prayer book page 15. Closing prayer. We are divine parents of the universe. We are deeply grateful for the way of mediation. Father, gratitude for divine blessings, material, spiritual, temporal, eternal. We pray that your divine favor be granted to one and all, each and every day. Prayer book page 20. Before meal prayer, as we partake of this food and drink provided by the divine parent, let us be thankful and remember to sustain our gift of come in prayer. We give our thanks to this world, and it gives us strength to be like you such to all. Aire. Aire. Aire.